Hi guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. In this reading, I'm going to be looking into the question, what blessings are headed your way or are ready to be claimed by you at this time? There are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Amethyst. Group 2 is the Prehnite. And group 3 is the white Topaz. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to, I'll give you a minute to make your selection, and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Amethyst. So let's see what kind of blessings are headed your way at this time or are ready for you to claim them. Okay, so to start with, we have the Angel Prince of the West. I create the reality around me with thoughts of pure love and goodness. Archangel Michael, I stand for justice and truth. I live from my integrity. And Archangel Metatron, I am united with the source of all goodness, love, and creativity. So these energies speak to the end of a very long battle for personal transformation. You might have had certain things that you've had to step away from, aspects of your life which fell apart, life experiences which challenged you to either kind of sit in the energy of grief, sorrow, self-pity, even self-loathing. That might have been kind of the most comfortable space to dwell in. You might not have really had an option, depending on what the nature of these occurrences were, that in some sort of way it feels like you've been fighting an uphill battle to reclaim your sovereignty, to pick up the pieces of your life and bravely allow yourself to look towards the future as an opportunity to begin again. Something where you've invested a lot of time and effort in the process of shedding outdated versions of yourself, habits, people, places, and things that were detrimental or didn't serve your highest good or well-being. Or maybe even things that were taken from you, kind of tower moments that could have arrived in your life through circumstances of your own making, or through things that might have felt very unfair to you. And so there could have been a struggle with trying to find or create a silver lining, to try and make sense of what had happened and ask those bigger questions like, what are my options moving forward? What can I do to try and reclaim joy for myself, make the most of the situation, learn from past mistakes, or to recoup some kind of blessings within this life, within this reality. This speaks to the energy of you are wiser because of your struggles, and that your struggles didn't strengthen you. They might have forged your character in some way, but there's a sense of like, in spite of these things, you rise again. So there may be an opportunity for you to experience the ways in which people are going to be forced to change their opinion about you. You could have been counted out or judged based on things that happened in your life in the past, and you've been working very diligently behind the scenes to try and turn over a new leaf, or again, kind of like learn from those experiences and make better decisions for yourself. And this speaks to the energy of something in the form of like compliments or support that's getting ready to come in. This can be like shows of solidarity, people that are wanting to open doors of opportunity for you, give you a chance, not that you have to like prove yourself or pay your dues. It's like you've already proven yourself. You've already paid those dues without knowing it, and you've reshaped somebody's opinion about you, or like a group of people's opinion about you. They may have been judging you kind of based on surface level things, not knowing kind of the backstory or what had led to certain occurrences. Whatever you might have gone through might have triggered a lot of fear or confusion within others, and they could have backed away or kind of pushed you away, made you an outcast in some sort of manner. You may have been in like a season of isolation or a long period of isolation, trying to like pick your life back up, start again, kind of build from whatever point that things collapsed moving forward. And it feels like you're getting ready to get that recognition that isn't just in the form of like people giving you your flowers or, applause or, kind of letting you know that they misjudged you or that their judgments in the past were inaccurate. It feels like above and beyond those kind of words and affirmations of encouragement. This is something where these are people who are wanting to come in and help you now that they have a better view of the picture, or they're seeing that kind of like whatever standard they judged you from before, you're no longer that person. This is an opportunity for you to make a new first impression, because you're about to be vindicated or acknowledged as somebody that may have even very miraculously overcome certain odds, or rather than becoming embittered, you've actually become better through these circumstances. Something where you might also recognize the tables turning in terms of people that had discredited you, people that talk shit, people that, tried to like drag your name through the mud, or were in some sort of way part of any kind of tower moments, or, maybe played the victim in situations where they were in fact, kind of predatory in nature, or had contributed in some way to kind of loss or downfall, or even kind of like mocked or judged you based on certain things. This is the sense of kind of like other people that could have just blindly supported them or didn't take the time to kind of see the full picture. They're changing their tune in some sort of way that it feels like is going to result in kind of like a weight lifted off of you. Not that these other people's opinions matter, and not that any of this kind of changes the past, but it's something that may almost be like a reinforcement of you were in the right. You were the person that should have been given the benefit of the doubt, and you weren't. People jump to conclusions too quickly, and now they've been forced to kind of like eat their words, to eat crow in a sense. And so this is almost the energy of kind of like, okay, things have happened. You've reshaped your life in some sort of way, or you're making the effort to do that. And there's people that want to come in and applaud you for that and give you the assistance that they're seeing you could have used in the past, but that was not provided to you, or maybe people didn't know really how to help with whatever you're going through. But what you've done in terms of this personal transformation, wanting better for yourself, making better choices, this is now compelling other people to switch sides, to be on your side, to step up and be very vocal and very public with their support of you, where they may have just kind of sat back and watched, or might have even kind of unfairly judged you in the past. And for some people, part of this blessing is going to be some individuals that want to come forth and sort of like, okay, I was wrong. I see the error of my ways. I was misguided by, rumors or speculation, or kind of the tale that this other person or these other people sort of spun around the situation. For some of you, the blessing is going to be, they're going to be introduced to this more empowered version of you that's like, thanks, but no thanks. I could have used your support and help when I was in the gutter. when things were leaving my life, when I was struggling. And now that I've picked myself back up, now that I've rebuilt myself in some sort of way, you can come forth and kind of celebrate me, but you don't get access to this version of me. You picked a side. You chose to be an audience member. You chose to, be on the side of my enemies, or, to kind of unfairly sort of cast dispersions on the situation. So you just stay over there. You made your bed, now you lay in it. And so for some of you, this is going to be like you providing yourself with that actual closure, kind of like sealing off any kind of karmic soul contracts, it feels like, so that you can move forth very unencumbered into kind of like this new future that is now open for you. Different possibilities that are within reach because you've put in that work. You've surrendered to the divine. You've gotten the assistance that you've needed, or you've helped yourself. You've learned to help yourself. You've forged your own character through struggle. And so whatever these other people might be able to think they are able to offer, or kind of want to jump on the bandwagon now that it might be cool to be on your side, or things are looking up for you, this can be that kind of moment where you were left with no choice but to choose yourself in the past, and you're sticking with that decision and turning these people away at the door, kind of like, no, that would have been helpful then. I don't need your help now. I don't want you on my team now. I don't need you in my life. Those times, or that version of me, or that period is gone. That energy of the West, like I've shed it. The sun has set on that opportunity. Time is up. This is a new chapter. This is a new version of me. And so you just get to be a spectator. You get to sit with that knowledge, or with that guilt that you didn't do the right thing in the past, or people that might have kind of judged you unfairly or contributed to something as far as your downfall is concerned. It's almost like they need to sit within that judgment day energy for themselves, that you're not going to be the one to let them off the hook, or let them kind of just slide back in and celebrate you now that times are better. So for some of you, that's going to be like you're the one with the upper hand. You're the one kind of creating that closure, or sort of refusing the reemergence of these people into your reality. For others of you, this is kind of like, it is an opportunity not just to make amends, but for people to really step up to the plate and prove to you that you've evolved and they have also evolved, or are making the effort to kind of evolve in terms of their perspective of you, or what the role they want to take in this version of your life moving forward. So let's see what else you need to know about blessings headed your way or ready to be claimed by you right now. Okay, we have Sun in Capricorn, status, and Moon in Libra, love. Yeah, so this is all about that energy of you've leveled up in some way with this step pyramid. You've pulled yourself up by the bootstraps. You've put in that work, that labor to build yourself from the ground up, rebuild your life. Or maybe this was a process of needing to kind of cut certain things out of the equation so that you had the opportunity to strive for something more, to reach for something more, to really change your life in a profound way. For some of you, this has been effort to fall in love with yourself, to love yourself, and therefore let that self-love reflect in the choices you've made in terms of habits that you participate in, people that you keep around you, environments that you remained within, or kind of invited into your reality. You've taken the time to kind of ask yourself, like, is this in accordance with my highest good? Or is this just dragging me down? Might have been some tough choices in terms of cutting people out from the past, or anything that's represented like a tower moment where you've sifted through the ashes of the past. You've repurposed what you can. You've been working to let go of what is not salvageable, what is not savable. And there's a sense that you've now built a version of yourself or of your life. Maybe you don't even recognize the progress that you've made. And that's where these kind of shows of solidarity, these shows of love, this beautiful energy, even in the people that it feels like you may reject and say, like, yeah, you don't have a seat at my table. You don't get access to this version of me. It feels like those people may kind of retreat with the tail between their legs, but they can't sit in the energy of negativity or animosity. They just have to be part of your fan club from afar. There's something that might even be a humbling for them, an important lesson for these individuals to use their discernment to, reflect instead of just projecting, to not just kind of take rumors and run with that as reality, or to judge appearances or people by the surface without knowing what goes on behind closed doors, what has led to certain things. Like, the evidence is in the fruits of your efforts and your labors. You're not just somebody who is kind of selling this fantasy of, like, I've changed, I'm better, I've kind of risen above the odds or the obstacles that were stacked against me. It's almost like your life is that living legacy. It's irrefutable at this particular point in time that whatever you've been drawn to, whatever you've needed to do in order to recoup these losses or create something better for yourself, that it's been successful, that you're on the right track, that you've not just kind of leveled the playing field. You are miles beyond the best that you were showing back in the day. It's like a whole new version of you that is worthy of respect, the respect that you're owed, the respect that your struggles that you've been kind of tasked to come to terms with or to evolve beyond, what that has yielded. These are the energies of somebody that wasn't handed this process of metamorphosis. It wasn't handed to you. It didn't come easy. You've rebuilt yourself brick by brick, or you're diligently moving in that direction every day. This isn't just, I go to a weekend retreat, I drink some ayahuasca, and all of a sudden everything's better. No, this is somebody who's like in the trenches doing that shadow work. This is somebody that has embodied and has involved in their kind of everyday and active life that conscious communication with spirit, with their higher self, owning your shadows, owning your past, owning your mistakes, and not allowing that to keep you down or limited, but moving beyond that, facing those difficult parts of yourself, choosing better, to where the nature of your energy at this point in time, it is that ayahuasca. You didn't just go and get like a quick fix to deep-rooted problems. You didn't just create a temporary solution. You've become that love you have wanted to experience. You became that change in the world you wanted to see. You are applying those steps, those principles. You are remaining curious and evolving in the midst of your evolution. And this is recognized by people who knew something of who you were before and what your life was, and are now witnessing or have been watching perhaps this evolution of you. And so this is the energy of something that, like, stepping out from the shadows and into the light, with those congratulations, with that appreciation, with that acknowledgement. And for some, this is gonna take effort on these people's part to say, I was wrong. I unfairly judged you. I didn't give you the assistance that you needed. I didn't believe you when I should have. I didn't stand by you when all you might have needed was a hug or a friend or an advocate or someone to speak life into you. I chose silence. I chose the coward's route of doing nothing or walking the other way or withdrawing support, not taking a stand with you or for you. And so for some, again, this is going to be almost like you love yourself enough to say, kick rocks, get out of here. Like, I don't need you. What are you coming back after all this time, after everything? And you think that applause is going to make it all better. You think offering something now makes up for the lack from before. And so for some of you, this is kind of that movement of closure for yourself. For others of you, this is kind of like people who have had to evolve as well. And it's the rebranding of relationships. It's the beginning of restoration. It's that reconciliation from a higher vibration. People rising to the occasion to prove that they are deserving of a place by your side in this life that you've created for yourself or that you're working towards. And it's acknowledgement of all of that work and the beauty of this version of you, that you have given so much of yourself to forge out of the wreckage of the past. So let's get some butterfly affirmation cards just for, some positive thoughts, feel good energies for you to kind of sit with and sort of marinate on at this particular point in time. Okay, we have the more I trust in life, the better things turn out. I don't need to control life. I trust in magic and miracles. And I am deserving of respect, love, and happiness. I give respect, love, and happiness too. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got E, R, W, N, G, M, J, E, M, F, C, Z, I, B, A, R, and S. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you'd like a personal reading, there's a link for that below. And I've started a new Instagram account and it's called Bevan from Heaven. There's a link for that below as well. The content that I post over there, it's mostly poetry, photography, artsy kind of things that are not related to tarot. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, I invite you to follow me over there, and I welcome your presence on that platform. I hope to see you again in another video. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Prehnite. So let's see what type of blessings are headed your way at this time or are ready to be claimed by you right now. Okay, we have the angel prince of the west. I create the reality around me with thoughts of pure love and goodness. The angel of reconciliation. Let me be fully reconciled with what I have left behind. And the angel of eternal love. As I let love in, it stays in my soul forever. So there's an energy of endings and beginnings here that definitely feels to involve romantic love. For some of you, this is going to be a process of finally releasing an attachment to an idea of somebody from the past returning to your life, which clears your energy up or opens your energy, puts you in a highly magnetic space where you're going to call in new love very quickly. Somebody that may currently be like a secret admirer, sort of watching from the wings, planning on kind of making their moves, somebody that's got a crush on you. And this is almost the energy of like your spirit team, your higher self, your angels, your ancestors kind of have almost like not necessarily like a block in place, but it's kind of like creating some resistance for this person just sort of rushing forth at this time, because there's a sense of like you needing to release energetic attachments to people from the past, or again, like a specific person that you've been sort of like, I want to move on, but what if I do? And then they come back and they say everything right, they do everything right, and I miss that opportunity. It's something where like you're closing out a phase or a chapter of your experience with love. So maybe like a past life karmic soulmate, or even like a twin flame energy where the person had the opportunity to kind of do the work, get into alignment with themselves, get into alignment with you. They didn't do that. And so now it's almost like a high level soulmate is getting ready to enter. But in order to kind of experience the fullness of what this other person has to offer, the ways in which love for you is going to be experienced moving forward, you're doing a service by your future or by this like new connection by fully sort of shutting the door to, or discontinuing that kind of karmic contract with the past. And there's a sense of almost like, not that you have to earn this kind of new love, but there's something as far as like your soul's evolution, or like the past life threads between you and this other person, or even just a particular type of individual. Maybe you've been working on issues of codependency, you've had a lot of trauma bonds, you've dealt with narcissists, karmic partners, everything, and you're trying to sort of heal and understand and evolve beyond the version of you that would have unconsciously chosen those individuals. Or for some of you, that you just kind of ended up in some really shitty situations, some really damaging situations, some really bad situations with bad people. And there's been a healing that needs to take place emotionally, actually, psychologically, spiritually, energetically, that you owe it to your future to kind of like see that process through to completion, so that it doesn't tarnish the fullness of your ability to receive something better, something different, something new, in the form of like this other person, or like a new chapter of your life moving forward. Like you've upgraded, you've up-leveled in some way. And so this is like a higher level love that's wanting to come in towards you. But energetically speaking, maybe this person has also been working through their process of closing out of past cycles, working through fears, dealing with their wounds in whatever way that looks like for them. And so it really aligns very much with whatever you've had going on in your life and in your own particular journey. your relationship with self, and how that kind of, reflects the relationships with others. And so it feels like, again, this is sort of one door closing, and you don't have to wait for that other door to open. It's almost like closing a door and you're already stepping into this new reality that it feels like will be very refreshing for you. It's like you're getting ready to be loved correctly, treated the right way, maybe for the first time in your life, celebrated for who you are. Someone that, even if this is like a temporary kind of connection, or, this isn't necessarily like your forever and ever person, it's almost someone that's not gonna leave you worse for wear in the same way that like someone from the past did, or other experiences in the past have done. Like you've leveled up, you've raised your standards, and the universe has aligned you with somebody that corresponds to that evolved version of you. And it feels like something that when this new person comes in or like makes their move towards you, it may even be, this can even involve for some of you an opportunity to travel, to move, to kind of change up your habits, change up your routine, something that you're kind of like drawn toward, or maybe divinely guided towards in terms of, your social life, or, the things that you are kind of incorporating in your reality in terms of new habits, new behaviors, things of that nature, that puts you in that world, that puts you in that environment of someone that develops a crush on you, is that secret admirer, but they're not just going to sit there pining for you from afar. This is like the wheels are turning and they're making that move towards you. For some of you, I'm drawn in the fact with these wheels here, it's bringing to mind the idea of 2026, which is, in a couple of months, or weeks rather, relatively speaking, that 2026, that, adds up to 10, and 10 is the Wheel of Fortune card in tarot. So that may be that, like, very quickly, maybe somebody you meet at a holiday party, somebody you meet kind of like right at the beginning of the year, or someone that's had their eye on you and is like, this is the year, this is the time, this is the moment. I'm not just gonna sit here and be passive and let opportunities pass by. That, you start the new year with that energy of good fortune in love. You may have felt very unlucky in love up to this point in time, and it's like the wheel is now turning in your favor. The efforts that you've made to resolve the past, or even kind of holding space for somebody before, to kind of get their shit together, change their ways, kind of do the right thing, or maybe it's, just been kind of a process of not being able to sort of connect with the right person, feeling that love is out there, and then it never sort of turns up, and whatever that's kind of motivated you to do in terms of looking forward, not kind of putting your life on hold, waiting to be chosen, anything like that, it's worked very well. And your spirit team is kind of letting you know, like, it's just a little bit further. Like, you don't have to do anything to kind of actively seek that out. It's coming to find you. It's either somebody that's got their eye on you, or that you're getting ready to align with very quickly, that it feels like is going to help you to understand you were never asking too much out of love in the past. You were asking the wrong people. There was a model of love that was given to you, that was programmed in you, that was templated in you, maybe through your upbringing, maybe through certain things that happened, wounding that kind of made you settle, or, lower your standards, or just kind of accept whatever. And there's a sense of you're not doing that anymore. You haven't done that. You've made that decision to like choose yourself. You've worked to reconcile your relationship with yourself. You've balanced the light and shadow. You've made peace with your past. You've released the past, or are in the final stages of doing that. And it's something that it feels like very quickly invites, energetically speaking, this new love, this new experience, this new type of person to come into your reality. For others of you, this can also be somebody that is like a past person that was just kind of a side character in your narrative. There may have been chemistry, there may have been flirtation. It feels like it's nobody that you would have ever been in a relationship with, not a situationship, not a talking stage. It would have been somebody that's like right person, wrong time, or something that, was never explored, something that you might not have even known. This person had a crush on you or was attracted to you. Maybe there were third parties in the mix on either side of the equation, both of you, third parties even being like wounds from past loves that kind of made for hesitation or a failure to launch. For some of you, this is like you're getting ready, perhaps through serendipity, to run into somebody. And now it's the right time. It's still the right person, but the time is right. So that can be that representation of that new love kind of energy. Is life had to take you both in different directions, but now's the time to really explore all that untapped potential, because you've each learned some lessons. You've released some things. You've closed the door to versions of yourselves in the past, and to experiences in the past, or, past people that were just sort of aligning with the woundedness within, or lower standards, or, things that were kind of like damaging connections that aligned with nothing negative inside of you. It was just kind of the luck of the draw and some unfortunate experiences in romance that you've had to learn to live with, or you've had to find ways to kind of heal from these things, grow from these things, find a place to compartmentalize that hurt inside. And so now it's kind of like two people that deserve a beautiful love story. The universe is playing matchmaker, kind of moving different parts around, sort of keeping you both energetically at a distance from one another. For one person, it's kind of in this energy of longing, and then they're getting ready to make that move. And this can also be the energy of like, if it's secret admirer, not knowing that, hey, there's someone that's got a crush on me. Hey, there's someone that's interested in me. Hey, there's someone from the past that had feelings, but they never expressed it. We never explored that. It was unknown, or it was unstated. And you kind of went your separate ways, and now this is an opportunity. Like, the time is right. It's the time for love. It's time to explore that. So let's see what else you need to know about the blessings that are headed your way or are ready to be claimed right now. Okay, we have the Sun in Libra, harmony, and eclipse in Scorpio, regeneration. Yeah, so this is that energy of transformation with those two swans there, on this card. This is like somebody that you might have thought was like your twin flame or your soulmate, the one, and this maybe was something that was in alignment with a less evolved version of you, a wounded version of you. You couldn't recognize what was really right, or what was really in alignment with your highest good, because you were viewing the world through a lens of lack or a lens of hurt. And so there's something where you've had to kind of release the idea of that, release that person. You've had to scratch beneath the surface, and through loving yourself, through healing yourself, through maybe even sitting with disappointment and pain, it feels like you've cleansed your perceptions in some sort of way that you're now able to recognize what's really right for you. This idea of regeneration is kind of a new opportunity to really have love defined for you in a very positive way. For you to have an understanding within yourself that all those people that couldn't see your value before, or, that took you for a ride, that kind of manipulated your emotions, or were operating in such wounding within themselves, they were incapable of what you had to offer, or what they had to give was very tarnished, very toxic, that is not a reflection of your worth, your value. You're aligning with somebody that fits, that is that perfect match. It's love that blooms, and the fragrance is beautiful. It's not something where you grasp for it and you're damaged by the thorns. This is the energy of kind of leaning in deep, stopping to smell the roses, and then looking around and recognizing this beautiful essence of love. It is the direct reflection of the garden you've cultivated within. Through pulling weeds out of your life, through trimming back excuses within yourself that might have kept you choosing the wrong people or settling for less than you deserve. Something where you've raised your standards, you've nourished yourself with your own love, the love you were trying to give away to people who didn't have the capacity to hold that or reciprocate that. Maybe you got really selfish with your energy and you know, you've had to kind of lay down some boundaries and barriers. You've stepped into your villain era because you're choosing you over the cat and mouse games, over settling. This can also indicate kind of the resurfacing of somebody you've had the back and forth with, only that's done. Even just energetically, they're resurfacing for you, but you're not taking the bait. You're not going to sit in this energy of like, okay, I think they're coming back. I think they've changed. I think it's time for us. Like, you've done that enough. You're choosing your future. And it feels like steps in that direction, maybe even putting yourself out there, either your perspective changes or you take some kind of action in order to move beyond kind of this healing phase or something that kind of tethered you to the past. Or your higher self, your ancestors, your angels, your spirit guides, kind of walking you through this process of like you had to balance some things out within yourself. You had to understand some things. You had to accept responsibility for the choices that you've made in the past as far as romantic partners and people you've invited into your experience and the repercussions for better or worse for that. And you've also offloaded a huge degree of wounding and projection and like psychological manipulation from either bad people you were dealing with, broken people you were dealing with, people that were just supposed to be lessons and you tried to turn them into forever. You tried to build a home out of a temporary structure of a person, and you've moved beyond that. You've claimed yourself as the prize in your life, and it feels like this is creating a new opportunity for you, something that might have felt like love was a hopeless thing, or the idea of partnership was kind of, it didn't seem like it was going to work out, or maybe you felt that you were just dreaming too big and you're about to be proven wrong about that. Like the right person, the winds of change are blowing them in your direction. And when you align with this person, when you get to know this person, it feels like even the way in which they first approach you, and you know, everybody's human, nobody gets everything perfect, no matter how much they try to control that narrative and say and do everything right. But it feels like even for kind of the human flaws within this individual, the effort that they make, who they really are at their core, how that feels to you as compared to the ways in which connections of the past, you might have confused chaos with passion. You might have confused trauma bond with love. And you've worked to understand that, or you're open to kind of being teachable and being shown something different. And this new experience of love, this new person, or again, somebody that was just kind of a side character in your narrative. Maybe they had a crush on you for a long time, or, you know, the circumstances didn't make it kind of possible for a relationship to develop. So those feelings never were kind of stirred within. People needed to awaken, people needed to ascend, people needed to align within themselves, people needed to learn certain lessons. And so now the timing's right. Now you encounter one another again. Only this is your time. This is the time for that love story. This is the moment when the stars have aligned. And it feels like this is something that is going to redefine your perception on kind of your journey in love up to this point in time. And it gives you hope that no matter what your past has looked like, the future is so much brighter because you've claimed and created that for yourself. So let's get some butterfly affirmation cards just to kind of breathe some life into you, into this situation, into these beautiful energies right here. Okay, we have the more I trust in life, the better things work out. It is safe for me to explore unknown worlds and try new things. And I make a positive difference in the world, even with my smile and words. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got Z, D, E, I, C, C, N, B, W, S, O, S, V, R, H, A, U, and P. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you'd like a personal reading, there's a link for that below. And I've launched a new Instagram account. It is called Bevan from Heaven. There's a link for that below as well. And the content that I post over there, it's mostly photography and poetry and artsy things not related to tarot. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, I invite you to give me a follow over there, and I welcome you to that environment that I am trying to create. I hope to see you again in another video. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the white topaz. So let's see what kind of blessings are headed your way right now or are ready to be claimed by you at this time. We have the guardian angel of children. I honor the precious child within me. I nourish and cherish all new beginnings. The angel of peace. I open my heart and rest in the peace of divine love. And the angel of knowing. My sense of inner knowing leads me to the light. And for this one, let me see. I think I'm going to have to kind of cover this artwork up a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, so it feels like there is an opportunity that is coming to you. I'm hearing once in a lifetime opportunity that may represent something that has been a long time dream of yours that you've either been working very hard towards and you're about to get what other people may look at as like a lucky break, but that you know deep down inside, this has been a long time coming. You've, burned the midnight oil, you burned the candle at both ends, you've been putting in a lot of work behind the scenes, kind of building in silence, and your success is about to speak to you in a way that is going to accelerate the nature of your life in terms of feeling that sense of relief that your belief in yourself is paid off. Maybe you've had to be your own cheerleader. You've been working towards goals that other people didn't understand, or, that kind of the level of your effort and dedication might have cost you certain things. Your personal life might have really suffered. Your social life, your, interpersonal relationships, you might have had to made some really tough decisions as far as like, okay, I'm taking care of what I need to take care of in order to survive, but all of my free time, all my extra resources, I'm having to devote this to building this career, building this dream. I'm not able to kind of participate in things like other people are. I've had to say no to certain things. I've had to disappoint people. I've had to let people down because I know I've got one shot at this. I've got one opportunity where it means so much to me that I don't want to sit in the energy of looking back at my life and regretting not taking that chance, regretting not making those sacrifices. If there's even just a 1% chance of success, it's like you've chosen that. You've chosen yourself, and that's getting ready to pay off in a way that it feels like is going to cause a lot of people that are close to you, a lot of people that you love and that you care about that might have, felt very put out about the fact that your free time is kind of spent working in secret on something that they didn't understand, or that instead of kind of being there and participating with others and kind of going out and having fun, you've chosen that hard work, you've chosen that discipline, that dedication, almost in a way that people might have been like, you're obsessed with this. You're kind of limiting yourself just by all you're investing. You might have had a lot of people kind of feeding sort of doubt and negativity into your plans that might have caused you to have to kind of push people away or set up boundaries, kind of say very little of what you've had going on behind the scenes. But your success is now about to prove that, like, yeah, you followed your instinct, you followed your intuition, you followed that divine guidance, you believed in yourself, and now you're reaping the rewards of that. You're being recognized for some kind of a milestone, some kind of an achievement. You had a dream and you were able to manifest this into reality. You've reshaped yourself into a version of you that could claim these blessings, that could sustain them and multiply them. You have become the person that doesn't just play that part in an artificial sense, but is the embodiment of that truth. You've become that dream in motion, and it feels like it's going to be such a sigh of relief that everything you've been told you missed out on, everything that you had to like push by the wayside, that it was worth it. There's a sense of people being inspired by this kind of opportunity. There's going to be some people that are like jealous, some people that are envious, some people that didn't see kind of the behind the scenes. They didn't see the process. They didn't see the sleepless nights. They didn't see the frustration. They didn't see the times that you almost quit and gave up, or maybe you did quit, you did give up, and you had to kind of bring yourself back to center. You had to begin again. They didn't see that process. They're only going to see the yield. And this is given the energy of like, oh, it came so easily to her. Oh, it came so easily to him. Oh, it must have just been handed over. They must have just been born with this. But inside, and the people close to you are gonna know, and it brings forth an energy of people that are like really proud of you. Like you inspire people, maybe even inspire the next generation of dreamers, of thinkers, of people in your family even. You're that celebrated relative that's like, wow, look at them. Look at that star power. Look at what that person achieved, that helps those that really know you, and even other people. Not everybody kind of outside of your inner circle, your inner sanctum is just going to look at you with like envy. There's going to be people that understand in some way, this has been a long game strategy. You have worked toward this for quite some time. You've paid your dues, you put in that effort, and there's a sense of like, you deserve this, you've earned this. This is your rightful place. You've maximized your potential as a person in this life. You took the long way home. You didn't choose the safe and narrow route. You took risks. You bet on yourself and you won. You hit the jackpot with whatever this is. So this can be something that is like, you get that degree, you get that promotion, you get that dream job, you become that entrepreneur, you start that company. You have that following, you have that fan base, your videos go viral, your content is received, your client basis is like, you're booked, you're scheduling out months in advance. People want what you have to offer. People see you as that asset. And there's going to be people who recognize, like, yeah, you've been diligent with this. This isn't favoritism. This isn't nepotism. This is somebody who believed in themselves, and that belief powered them to this place of reality. People are going to take a lesson from your playbook. You're going to be somebody that it feels like is influential in all the right ways, for the right reasons. You're setting a positive example for others that, like, anything is possible. Maybe for some of you, this is that you took a chance on yourself and you've completely switched gears with your life. You have changed your narrative arc. You switched careers. You've resurrected that dream that you put by the wayside in the interest of more practical things. Maybe you had a family and you needed to kind of do what you had to do in order to pay the bills, in order to provide. And now you've come to a place in your life, or at some point you came to a place of like, I can only really show up for these people that I care about by coming into alignment with some aspect of me that has always wanted for something more. I can show the people that I care about that it's never too late to build in the direction that you always should have been building in, or to take risks in kind of creating a better life, that best life can be lived out loud at any point in time. And it's worked. People are taking note of this. Doors of opportunity opening for you. People seeking you out for your services, for what you have to offer, for who you are. This can involve peace of mind in terms of, alleviation of any kind of financial difficulties, any kind of financial woes, anything where you've had to like invest a lot or do without certain things in order to kind of work overtime. Maybe you've been working and taking night classes. You decided to go back to school. You've decided to kind of, do that side hustle, and then it's taking off. It's taking the place of like your ordinary work in some sort of way. It's that big dream that you've been hoping for, that is like, it would be nice if that happened. In the perfect world, this is what I'd be doing. And it's like, you're going to be doing it. It may even be something where you're helping other people. You're inspiring other people. You're providing a roadmap for other people about how one can go from just sort of survival mode to thriving, from living day by day on the hamster wheel, in the rat race, going through the motions. This is like you're breaking out of the matrix in some sort of way, or you're making it work to your advantage. And it's going to be something where this is almost like previous versions of yourself are going to be so thankful to you for not giving up. Because this is that breakthrough energy. This is that wish fulfillment that isn't just a happy accident. It's like you've really put in that effort. And you're about to be seen. You're about to be known. You're about to experience a level of respect, or maybe even people coming to you for advice about certain things or words of encouragement, or invited into certain circles that you hadn't had access to before. A new type of community that you'll be interacting with. Both people that would consider you peers, and also people who will kind of gravitate towards you in the energy of like, you're the teacher and they're the student, wanting to kind of be near to you, or to experience you, or to kind of watch you in order to take that essence back into their own reality, into their own lives, and say, now how can I make that formula work for myself and whatever my dreams and goals are? How can I use what this person has accomplished, what this person has done, and how can I take that spirit and kind of make my life better? To not postpone dreams or think it's too late, or, let defeat kind of capsize my progress. But this is almost kind of like you've kept the faith. You've had to renew your hope over and over again, or you've kept hope when it seemed that it was unlikely you were going to succeed. Maybe you were your only cheerleader for a point in time, or this is something that nobody's been aware of at all that you were working on, and you just kind of pop out and surprise everybody. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, okay, here's somebody that is self-sufficient, that's a self-starter, that has created something out of nothing. And it causes people to look at you in a different way, with a level of reverence, with a level of respect, with a level of understanding that it feels like helps to kind of ease any sort of hurt feelings that people close to you even might have had about, like, well, why don't they hang out as much? Why are they always just kind of, working behind closed doors? Why is this dream or goal so important that, people might have been like, you're missing out on things in life. Maybe you decided to postpone having children, or you made a decision not to have kids at all because you're like, I've got this big dream, and it wouldn't be fair to deprive that child of like an active and participating parent when I know this other thing I'm trying to build, it's my baby. It requires all of me. And so you've made that decision to kind of not become a mother, not become a father. Other people in your life might have judged you for that. You could have also felt like, hey, I've had to make this decision, but there's a part of me that feels I missed out on an experience. It's been a regret. Whatever the success is that's starting to come in, or that is about to come in for you, it feels it washes away that regret. You're going to thank yourself for the choices that you made. Before you could even see the reality of success, something within you said, it's this or that. I can't have both. I can't devote myself fully to these multiple things. It's got to be this one pathway forward. You bet on you and you're getting ready to win. So this can also be something where now you've achieved this goal. Now you can start to look at, okay, I want to settle down. I want to get married. If there's still time, or that's still within your kind of vision of happily ever after, I want to have kids. Whatever that kind of looks like for you, this may be something where you reach that milestone, and all of a sudden now the goals that you're looking towards, now it's these other things. It's these amenities, it's these luxuries, it's building more of that kind of comfort in the form of interpersonal relationships around you, or strengthening your presence within the lives of others that matter, that may have more of that conventional path to success going on. And you kind of coming in or modeling for these individuals, like, there are many ways to live a satisfied life. And yours has been a different route, but it's something that it feels like it'll make sense to others, kind of why you made the choices that you made. And that whatever has been put on hold, or you've kind of, missed opportunities, you've had to say no to certain things, you've had to defer or delay certain things, it all makes sense. Because that initial kind of spark, that push, that motivating factor, it's worked out for you in a beautiful way. So let's see what else you need to know about the nature of blessings that are headed your way or are ready to be claimed by you at this time. Okay, we have Sun in Sagittarius, adventure. And Moon in Pisces, wonder. So with these energies, I'm hearing, how did she pull that off? Or how did he pull that off? There's going to be people that are in disbelief about the nature of how your life is going to change for the better. There may be opportunities for travel, for relocation, switching jobs, or making something that people thought was just a hobby or an interest. It becomes your primary profession. For some of you, this may also speak to, celebrity status, stardom, being an influencer, being influential within your industry or your niche. Not just as somebody who's like another cog in the machine, but you're standing out in some sort of way that it feels like is going to help to almost put a sense of childlike wonder in other people's eyes. Like, wow, that's my relative. That's my sister. That's my brother. That's my mother. That's my father. That's my friend. That's my lover, that's my husband, that's my wife. Like, people kind of getting clout based on being associated with you. other people sort of experiencing the benefits of that. Kind of like, oh, that's your daughter? That's your son? You grew up with them? You know them? You spend the holidays with them? Wow, that must be so cool. Where you might have been the unsung hero for a long time within your own life. Something where you might have been just like, oh, they're a dreamer. They've got these big dreams, but, you know, the reality of this person is kind of flaky. You know, they're kind of whimsical. They're, you know, they should keep both feet on the ground, get their head out of the clouds, pick something more practical, or maybe even people that are like, hey, they missed out on you know, the way life should be because they've chosen this other path or this kind of weird route, this thing that they want to bring into reality, but it's not happening, and we don't understand like why they don't just settle down, pick something normal, pick a profession, stick with something. Just kind of nestle in to that white picket fence version of happily ever after. Something that's about to happen for you is going to help these other people to understand like you didn't miss out on a thing. Success for you looks different for others. You believed in yourself, you bet on yourself, and you've got that winning ticket. You were right all along. And it feels like for a lot of these people, you're going to be welcomed in even closer to these interpersonal relationships, not because like, oh, now you've achieved something, now you've made a name, now you're a success, so you're worthy of sitting at this table, but it's almost people that are like, we didn't know you had this in you. Come closer so we can celebrate you. We didn't understand the nature of what you were pursuing. We thought you were just kind of keeping your distance because you didn't like us, because you thought you were too good to hang out, you were too good for everyone, but you were working this whole time towards something else, and we see it now, we get it now. It's clear, it's obvious. You've achieved something. And this is almost like going perhaps from feeling almost like the black sheep within your circumstances to the honored guest. Something that like people want the younger generations to take notes from you. You are that influence that is very positive for others. Look what this person achieved. They set their mind to something. They devoted all of themselves to it, and it worked. That this is like you're the hero within kind of that family unit. You're that hero within your community. You're that underdog story. You're that triumph. You're that person that maybe had to, again, like, you had to self-support. You had to be your own cheerleader. You had to deal with frustration and obstacles and the urge to quit. Maybe you quit certain things and you got back on the horse. You got knocked off and you got back on. You kept going. You kept believing. You kept trying. And you broke through that glass ceiling. Whatever was kind of the limit before, it's becoming your floor. You're standing on top of all the resistance you faced internally and externally, all the preparations, all the hard work, all the heavy lifting behind the scenes. You're getting ready to stand on top of that and look down at how far you've come. And it's more than just like, yay, I'm proud of myself. There's something where like a whole new world opens up for you, a whole new life, a whole new way of living. That even if this is something where you may have an opportunity to like relocate, to travel, to kind of move away even, move out of a version of your life towards something else. And it feels like the people that you'll have to leave behind, the friends, the family, the coworkers, the community, these people are not, some will be like envious, but it feels like a lot are just gonna kind of watch you from afar, like, you're my hero. Wow, I was in the presence of somebody great the whole time and I didn't know it. I couldn't see it, but I see it now. And so it's a lot of, part of this blessing as well is like a lot of well wishes, a lot of beautiful, loving energy. People really proud of you, proud that you achieved your goals. People clapping for you. People celebrating you. You spoken well of. You spoken of with pride. You spoken of as like the person that has achieved so much, that defied the odds or did what nobody else had the courage to do. did something truly amazing. And so it feels like these are blessings that are both material and also in terms of like really good vibes that are very genuine, that are going to be sent your way. You're right on the precipice of that. You're like a few steps away from that. You may have started to taste that success, or you're saying for yourself, like, I feel I'm nearing the finish line. It's this last push. It's that kind of facing the fear and walking through that fire boldly and declaring, here I am. I'm claiming my place in my future. I'm making my mark on this world for the better. I have had a dream. I have had a belief. I have worked hard to shape myself internally to become that proper projector of that outward, or that receiver, that channel, that representative, that vessel, that instrument of peace, of change, of prosperity, of success. And I've taken the steps in the material world. I haven't just sat praying about it. I haven't just been sitting in a passive energy. I haven't just been sitting with my hand out, waiting for something to kind of fall in my lap, to come to me. I've chased that. I've chased that victory. I've chased that success. I have manifested it. I've made it happen. This is like your moment in the sun, and it's not just temporary. It's kind of like you're stepping out of that timeline of preparation into the experience of being. Whatever this accomplishment is, whatever this goal is, whatever this change is for you, it's something that nothing can take away. No matter what happens in the future, it's like you did that. You accomplished that. This is something that is yours forever, and it's beautiful. And it feels like it'll be very helpful for like other things that excite your mind, that catch your attention. Other things where you're like, okay, I'm hungry for the next thing. What's next? Now that I've done this, what else can I do? That this will be that pivotal reminder for you that you can do anything you set your mind to. If you're diligent, if you're patient, if you plan, if you're aggressive when you need to be, if you are still when it is required, you will get there. You will cross that terrain. But you don't need other people believing in you. You don't need other people kind of like cheering you on or, lifting you up, that you can do that for yourself. And it not only, it feels like, is a blessing that will be instrumental for you as a motivator moving forward, but it's almost like there will be other people that will follow that lead or that example, other people that will start to think outside the box, other people that will take that risk, that will bet on themselves because you did it, because someone like you had success. So then well, what can I do? How can I become that change in the world I wish to experience? How can I take that dream out of a place of just sort of fantasy and thinking about it, or something that I put on the shelf, or I tell myself it's too little too late, it's impossible, it'll never happen, it's too hard, it's too difficult. Taking that kind of like defeatist attitude and turning it upside down and saying, but what if? What if I can do it? That person did it. That person did it for themselves in their version of whatever that is, so what can I do? This is like an agent of change in terms of creative, prosperous, abundant energy. The fruits of your efforts are about to be experienced materially in a way that cannot be denied by others. And it's going to spark envy within some. And in more people, in most, it feels like it's gonna really inspire them. It's either going to be very heartwarming, very encouraging, very positive, very much celebrated. You're going to get a lot of applause. You're going to have a lot of people sending you good thoughts, sending their gratitude, sending their appreciation, rooting you on for your continued path of success because you have proven that you are the real deal. You are the real thing. You set a goal, you had a dream, and you're getting ready to accomplish that. And it's going to give you a different appreciation for yourself, for what you're capable of, and also the measure of success as it has been defined for you up to this point in time. So let's get some butterfly affirmation cards just to breathe some life into this energy, kind of positive thoughts and things that you can kind of keep with you at this time. Okay, and we have, I am valuable. Many people are thankful for my presence in their lives. Life doesn't have to be perfect in order for me to choose happiness. Today I choose happiness. And I soothe away anxiety and stress by choosing to do things that help me relax. So let's also get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got N, L, W, R, P, L, G, F, C, B, V, Z, T, S, Y, U, and Y. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you'd like a personal reading, there's a link for that below. And I've started a new Instagram account. It's called Bevan from Heaven. There's a link for that below as well. And the content over there is mostly poetry and photography and different artsy kind of things, not related to tarot. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, I invite you to check it out and follow me over there. And I appreciate your presence and support on that platform. I hope to see you again in another video. Please take care and be well.